Flooding in Gada local government area of SOKOTO State has displaced 1,664 people and destroyed numerous acres of farmlands following heavy rainfall on July 17, 2024. The flood affected the communities of Dantudu, Balakozo, Gidan Tudu, and Tsitse. Damaging a significant number of houses and resulting in the loss of livestock. The assessment by NEMA and SEMA officials highlighted the severe impact on the local population. Historically, Nigeria has experienced significant floods in 2012, 2018, 2020, and 2022. Recently, the federal government warned of potential flooding in 94 towns from July 16 to July 20, 2024. The NGO Save and Better Nigerian urged authorities to prepare adequately to mitigate the impact of the future floods. Additionally, 4 people were swept away by flood in Navy, North Anambra State following heavy rains on July 18, 2024. Well, this is quite disheartening. It is a painful one. It's quite a pity. But like it is stated, the NGOs actually warn about states about flooding. Like they said that from 16 to 20th of July, that some states are going to be flooding because of the opening of Ladon, what's it called? Dam. That is going to be a serious issue. Some states actually took this into consideration to make sure that they try to mitigate what what was coming, and then others did not pay attention to it. And so far in Sokoto, it is a reality now. It's not just a warning, not just information. They are seeing it live, and some places in Anambra State, because of the heavy rainfall, like they said, it actually swept 4 persons away. What do you think? And I ask, when this warning comes, you remember that we are staying in a country where most of the waterways there are structures on it. A lot of persons have built things on the waterways, so it's not difficult for the water to channel appropriately. So when this warning comes, are they actually telling them to evacuate the environment? Where do they go? Because you can't possibly predict whose house will be flooded. Why can't we prevent this before? Why can't we come up with prevention is better than cure? Because it's more like you're doing something. Of course, you already know the damage, but you're like, let me just do it. When it's time, I will just excuse myself. What do you think about this?
Well, I saw flood in America. Tennessee in particular. I saw the level of water, and I was like, is this an ocean or ordinary flood? And when I saw your story about flood, and I was saying that if flood can occur in America, then where is Sokoto? You cannot have flood. Like you ask, where would they go to? So the issue of flood in Nigeria, in an actual sense, including the government, is guilty. It's unfortunate that we live in a country where you speak truth to government, you become an enemy. You become somebody who is inciting people. You don't do that in a normal society. In every society, the right that you have, every other citizen in the country have the same rights. Now, when you talk about this Sokoto issue, you ask, where would they go? Government in Sokoto, over the years, this might not be the first time this flood is coming across Nigeria. Since that time, how many times has the government, so to say now, Sokoto, engaged the people in terms of policy and action of government to say this is a waterway? You must not build on the waterway. Do we have such kind of policy implementation? You don't have that. The government will just sit in the causerie room of government house and say, flood is coming, oh, flood is coming, oh, clean your gutter, so don't allow that, don't put dirt in the gutter. Is that?
Mr. Edafe, are you sure we do not have, but the people are adamant about this? people decide to do what they want to do because they feel that, okay, the government officials are not here to stop us. Do you have to tell a normal human being with the right full sense of thinking not to build on the waterways? Are they supposed to wait for the government to come and tell them that this place is waterways, having known that flood is a natural disaster, that when it comes, you are more vulnerable than the one that did not build on the waterways?
Now, you want to take me to the Bible now. But this question you are asking. Paul said, we Christians, we do not operate by law. It is not law that compels us to do what we ought to do. As Christians, we walk with conscience that this is what is right according to the Spirit. But the scripture went further to say that the government is not holding the sword, the rod in vain. The rod that the government is holding is for offenders of laws. So in a society where government holds the rod in vain, what do you think the people will do? You have said it. Ordinarily, just like the first story we had, a normal person will not go to a classroom and say, Gada is where you go to go and poo. But since the people have decided to do what is wrong, what do you do as a government? That is the issue I'm looking at here. So when government say, flood is coming, don't dustbin the gutters. Don't litter the gutters. Don't build along the canals. And people are selling the canals, putting money in their pockets. People are building the canals. And somebody is seated in the government house as a governor, as a president. So you are holding the rod in vain. And any society where government holds the rod in vain, things will always go bad, as we are having in Nigeria. That is the story we have here. Otherwise, if government is up and doing, who has contravened the laws? Pursue him. Another person will not try it. But in Nigeria, this one build here, this one build here, and at the end of the day, say, oh, we have blocked the canals.
Well,
who are you crying to?
When you say in Nigeria and talking about governments having road and not doing anything, we've seen examples from Lagos State where the governor gave an order that all the shanties that is built in inappropriate places should be brought down, should be scattered, and of course they have been on that. But in other states, we have not seen such. I also remember that River State was part of those that will be affected by the flood, part of the place, the state. And so far, it seems nothing has been done. Like if you go to some of, do you know that people even build houses in rivers, in a river, I mean to say. People build houses there, and I don't know. They said those lands are, some of them actually built when there was no water there, but different stories and all of that. But so far, they've not done anything. So don't you think that it's not, when you're saying Nigeria, that means you're classifying everyone. There are some states that are actually doing something. I remember that in Ekiti State, when that information came, they were already putting hands on decks to make sure that they'll be able to mitigate the flood. And so far, we've not heard. But it's just that in Port Harcourt, we have not heard of this kind of heavy flood that is in SOKOTO State. So, I mean, why are you blaming everyone?
No, when I say Nigeria, maybe I need to put it in proper perspective.
I think you should.
When I say Nigeria, you are not understanding me. Nigeria means, when we say Nigerians are bad, for example, it doesn't necessarily mean that all Nigerians are bad people.
Okay.
There are still good people in Nigeria.
Exactly.
We say Nigerians are bad because the population of people that are bad far more than the infinitesimal people that are good. That is the essence of generalization in philosophy, so to say.
It's a matter of minority and seniority.
Yes, now, when you scale it, when you compare it, the number of the deviants, you can't compare it to those who are abiding now. You mentioned Lagos State. How many states can you mention that are prepared for this state that NEMA has been warning? And you can see that NEMA is in the office warning. Apart from the warning, is there any other thing else? Now, is there fund to say, okay, fine, this canal we are talking about now, let us clear it. How many canals have they cleared? Since Lima have been warning, how many canals have they cleared, so to say? So we are saying that we must go back to the drawing board as a people, because the way we are running our society in this modern world is not how to run a society.
I know there was a time that most times if you get to the road, you will see people clearing the canals, of course the gutters and all of those. And at the end of the day, they will pay them. But so far, they are not doing that again. And they're talking about unemployment, that there is no job opportunities in our state. So what happened to those ones? Why haven't government employed people to be cleaning those places?
In fact, in a real sense, if River State were to be my state, and because I've talked to one or two persons in the government houses, give them suggestion and ideas, some of these things, and they wave it off, you know. Otherwise, the evacuation of sanitation in the states, the handling of it is very poor. You see a sanitation dirt is evacuated here, waste is evacuated here, you are evacuating and you are scattering. You are evacuating and you are scattering. So you will see the whole road so littered, so dirty. In a modern,
that's how we now wash it back to the same place.
Even the one you were saying now, where they clear gutter, those days when they removed it from gutter, they bring truck to say, okay, fine, this is a work we must do. That was before this governor. This is a work we must do. Let's put truck side by side. As it's coming out, we evacuate them. As it's coming out, they do that. So it's all jobs. Maybe somebody just give to somebody to find something. You must, you know, some time ago you supported me something, you must have food to eat and all that. So get some boys, clear this in, let me give you this in so that you have some 1 or 2 naira from there. That's just it. Otherwise, when you say government really want to maintain city, maintain society, the kind of waste bin we see around here is very sad now. If they just see any small bush around here, the whole place, if you see any small bush around here, dustbin. So you can't put your face as you are moving along the road, moving around some track road. You know, like we went to stay for a bush. When you want to come out from that your track road, left and right dustbin, left and right. So small time as well, they look up the waka. They look up the waka. Because for me, all those things irritate me, as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
So government should be that. The sanity of the society to a long extent affects the health situation of the people. So we must take it serious.
So these things affect you, and if you have up to 5 of you in your environment, it means that if it starts from you, your neighbor joins.
No, even in my compound, they'll say, "Now you did the compound. Now you did the compound. Claim another person's compound now. Turn another person's compound to your compound."
This is
so it's terrible.